from Disneyland. I want to go to Disneyland.
I'll mute. Okay.
Are you on?
We can get started.
Where's the PowerPoint?
Well,
Okay. All right.
just start now and then.
All right. Well, hi everybody. How's everybody doing tonight?
Great.
Doing good. So, I think this is how it's going to happen. Me and Jared are going to give you guys our input on what we've experienced as husbands with our wives being Beachbody coaches. So we're going to have a couple of perspectives. Not everybody's perspective is going to be the same, I feel. We all have different backgrounds. I think, depending on what your life experiences are, you're going to have a different experience on or perspective on how things work. So I'm very, very, I guess, conservative in my approach. Jared's probably more, whatever you want to call it, Jared. You can say
He's younger.
He's younger, yeah. So I'm a lot older. So basically, what I try to do is I try to go back to when Becky first started doing Beachbody, and try to think of some of the things that kind of just hung us up when we started, or when she started. And actually, it's we started. She keeps telling me this is a we thing. So what I did is I just put some stuff up on a PowerPoint really quick because I'm very structured. That's how I work. That's how I do my job is to do a lot of presentations at work. So
He's analytical.
Very analytical. I'm just like almost black and white thinker too sometimes. So I'm going to share that with you guys, okay? Just to kind of show you some of the things some of the questions that came up with us. So, and Jared, you feel free to jump in whenever you want and say you agree or disagree.
Let's interrupt him.
Yeah, just interrupt. You can ask questions if you need to, okay?
No problem. All right, I got you.
I'm going to do share screen.
Ashlyn. Whoa!
Yeah, you'll see that.
I'm just gonna say right now, props, man. That was.
You bet. Okay. All right. First of all, again, like I said, this is all a matter of perspective. Okay. Like I said, we all have different backgrounds, so you're gonna experience it differently than me and Becky do, than Jared and Shauna, and any other couple who has experience working with Beachbody. So not every story is the same. Okay.
Make sure there's
All right. Here's the best quote, and I got this. I didn't say this. Shalene Johnson said this.
This was from Summit, you guys.
This was from Summit. She says, "You all need to have more sex." That's what she said. I'm taking her word for it. Becky's one of the best speeches I've ever heard, I guess. So,
is any guy going to say anything different?
likely not. I don't know. So that's from Shalene. If you guys ever get a chance, listen to. I think she's on YouTube. You can go listen to the same.
We'll actually load this into the team page so you guys can see her whole speech from Summit. It was awesome.
It was pretty funny. It was hilarious. So.
And the husbands loved it.
So really, I mean, if you want things to be right, that's what she said. And I could say we could be done, and if you have any questions, you can proceed. So we can end there. No. So this is okay. So when Becky started about 2.5 years ago, we heard about the Beachbody programs. We heard about P90X 2 years ago, and so she decided to jump into it. And I thought, well, what's the big deal? Let her do it. I think it's great to be fit. I love to work out. I do triathlons and love to be we just love to do all sorts of recreational type of stuff. So she went ahead and did it. And then when she started to do it for about a couple months, she got this bug that she wanted to do this with. She started talking to her coach. So
he did think the shakes were too expensive, though.
Yeah. I was like, why are we doing shakes? I'm not big into shakes. It's just, do just good foods, But she started doing the shakes, talked to Brigitte, and all of a sudden she had this bug to start coaching. So I thought, well, okay, give it a try. But I didn't know what it was exactly. So that was my first question is, what is this Beachbody stuff? And the first thing I was thinking is that it's one of these pyramid schemes. It's like, oh, great, here we go. A pyramid scheme where you have to start recruiting and selling to people and developing, basically this pyramid thing. I don't know what your experience was, Jared. I don't know if you felt like that, kind of like we're spending money on this and we're trying to recruit. It's like I didn't want to be in that habit of recruiting people. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's got a bad, I've heard of so many other things that were pyramid schemes. So we had friends who always tried to get us to do these things. So I didn't like that. And I kind of felt like it was like
He thought I had gotten talked into like some kind of weird pyramid thing. He was like, oh, great. Like, you're not going to make any money. It's only people at the top. Like the only people that make any money.
right. So
I proved him wrong.
yeah, but and then I started reading up on it a little more. And actually, it ended up, I read Dave Ramsey, and he actually talked about this. It's not really a pyramid scheme, so it was multi-level marketing, which is different than a pyramid scheme. So if you get a chance, read up on it. There are actually two different things on that. So a little hesitant there. One of the things I remember her doing is as soon as she started doing this, because part of the Beachbody is that you have to start recruiting. You have to be constantly on Facebook. And she was always on the phone now. So all of a sudden, we're starting to see a change of things at home. Come home, she's on the phone. In the morning, first thing, she's on the phone. It's like, gosh, she's on Facebook all the time. It's like, what is she doing on the phone? I didn't realize that part of one of the what do they call them? The things that you have to do every day. The
vital behaviors.
Vital behaviors is she needs to be out reaching out and contacting and working with people. So, but she was always on her phone.
I didn't manage my time well, is what he's telling you.
Yeah.
And I can second that.
I know you can.
It's hard. It's hard when you feel that your wife is not present, and it's the kids think their mom's not present sometimes, and I know that's an issue. And it's something we still work with now. That's why I've encouraged Shauna, and I try to, I don't know everything obviously, but I try to like offer my 2 cents every now and again. And part of that has been, I think that she needs to set some times aside for the family, and maybe everybody listening can get kind of pick up on that too, because I think part as being husbands and stuff, and we come home from work or wherever, and we want to see our families, and it's like, sometimes I'd come home and I'd walk through the door, and Shauna wouldn't even look up from the computer screen. She's got 4 conversations going at one time, and it does get frustrating. So I think it's one of those things where it's like, you need to pick a time to kind of set the phone down. Not every single text is like a fire. The house is going to burn down if you don't answer that text in 2 seconds. So I second what Placido's saying on that one.
Yeah, I think Simon Sinek said that every time they hear the little ping on your phone,
turn the pings off.
Yeah, it's the dopamine fix is what it was. That's what Simon Sinek said. So it's a dopamine fix because you need to go and see who's responding to my Facebook messages. So that was hard. So that was a hard adjustment because it felt like she was always on her phone. And plus, I was thinking, well, now our kids who are we got a couple teenagers, they're watching her on the phone all the time. So it's like, well, now they feel like they need to be on the phone too. But like Jared was saying, being present is very important. So we really had to talk about, okay, what times of the day do you need to be on the phone? What times can you be off the phone? One of my things, and one of the kids recognize it pretty quickly too. If you're watching a movie, even though we're all watching a movie, kids can sense it. I mean, I can sense it that if you're on your phone and you're still working with people, you're not really watching the movie as a family or reading a book or playing a game. If you're there on your phone, and it's not your turn, but you're on your phone, and the kids know you're not there, you're not present. So the biggest thing is be present, and not just. And I don't mean just like you're present there when you're watching a movie, but if you're going to do something, do it all the way. So if you're going to go watch a movie with the family, watch the movie with the family. If you're going to go out with the family. If you're going to do your work and you need to do your work, but be present there for that only and set that time aside to do that. So you got to be present. This one was a hard one for me. So I'm kind of an old traditional. I go to work, 8 to 5, and I was kind of thinking, my wife would be home with the kids. She'd be
Dinner would be on the table when he got home.
Dinner. Yeah, house would be cleaned, and realize things were changing, and that was kind of a hard thing for me to do, is change with this, because now she's starting to work. Really, what she's doing, she is working as part of working for Beachbody. There are hours where she has to commit to. They're not going to be the same hours as mine. So my role started changing a little bit. I didn't know, I guess my role as far as, okay, well, now I need to help a little more with getting the kids to bed at night. She has her Thursday night calls that I need to be helping get the kids to sleep by myself. So I became a single parent on Thursday nights for a little bit. Dinner's not always ready when I got home, so I had to wait maybe another hour. So we had to kind of adjust. I had to kind of figure out where I fit in. And plus, now I wasn't the only sole breadwinner. So she's starting to bring in some income for our family that helps us out. I didn't know where I fit in. I didn't know if I was going to get in the way, or I just needed to find out what my role was. So we had to talk about that quite a bit.
So these are all these things that he's bringing up. These are all issues we had to work through that all just kind of started in the beginning with this. And we still, we're not perfect. We still have to reevaluate occasionally and go, okay, I need to start turning my phone off again. I started getting into a bad habit again. So we're constantly working on this stuff. But these are all issues.
Yeah, we had to reset so many times. We had to just stop and think. You just got to kind of take a break in the week, one time during the week, and find out, okay, what was good and what was bad, and then what can we do to fix it going forward. So it's a constant reset. Okay. Time for us. So I like the evenings with my wife. I like to spend time with her because I worked all day. I wanted to see what happened with the kids. I want to read a book with her, whatever. I just want to spend some time with her.
And I had the challenge groups going that I'm like, I have to respond to all these people. They checked in for the night. I have to respond.
So that was hard because she was on her phone. So I was, going to bed almost basically by myself, so she wasn't there to say goodnight and spend time with. So we had to talk about how do we make that work for us, that time for us. Shalene Johnson said, take care of your partner. And she said, one of the things she said was, the less time you spend together, the further apart you will be. So one thing that we had to do more of is kind of communicate our expectations. So obviously we had to talk more. We had to talk about, like at the end of the month, she tends to get more busier. So because she has to meet.
Either I'm working on hitting Success Club still, or I'm working with my coaches. And so the end of the month, he just knows now. The end of the month, I can tell him, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is what I have going on.
Yeah, it helps manage, okay, what do I need to do with the kids? What do I need to do with schoolwork? Because it does take time away from the kids at the end of the month. So we had to kind of figure out, okay, where is it that you're going to be busy? What times during the day can I call you, or can I talk to you, or can we make sure that the kids, get their homework done and make sure we spend that time with them? So we had to communicate our expectations, and with anything that came up, any meetings she had. So we had to work through that. Oh yeah, that came up again. You all need to talk.
Constantly. That's his idea for everything.
I'll tell you what, that has solved so many of our problems that we've had.
We have no issues anymore.
So, and you get to work out in the process.
Exactly.
Right.
It's burning a little more cardio.
So what changed in my mind? Okay, really, it took some time. I mean, it wasn't like 1 month. It was like, okay, I get it. I figured it out. I had to be patient. I had to figure out where she was going with Beachbody, and then I started seeing a consistent pattern.
I was working out every single day, you guys, except on my rest days.
Yeah, she was doing some things I'd never seen her do before. So it was a little bit of a change for our relationship, a change for our family. Again, just trying to navigate what we were trying to do, what she was trying to do. And Becky likes to pick up on different things. She likes to learn different things, and she kind of comes in and out in phases
Shauna,
on some stuff.
that's you too, right?
Totally.
So, I didn't want her to be.
I like to have projects.
She does. And
I don't like to finish them all the time.
And I think it's important to support her in whatever she tries, because I knew eventually she was going to find something that she loved. And obviously she found Beachbody. So we just made sure to communicate. I worked on more being understanding, understood her why she was doing this. When she made that clear to me, I felt much better about it. She started sharing her goals, which she never did, because we never really did goals as a family. And I actually kind of appreciated this. She gave us a better vision for what our family could be. So that I didn't mind, but I had to see if this was really going to play out and see if it was really going to happen. And again, that took time. But as I saw her starting to be more consistent, starting to follow through with everything that she was doing, I started to find her to be very credible. So we were sacrificing things, and I thought, that's okay. There's growth pains that come when you strive to be better, when you strive to add something to your family. And there were things that were good. We were really eliminating a lot of I'm going to call it the fat in our family, where it was unproductive. We used to watch a lot of TV. All of a sudden, we're starting to see, we're starting to read books. The personal growth was kind of a nice thing for our family. I didn't realize that Beachbody did this. And, again, some of it could be fluffy to me. I don't really care for it. But then I started to see, well, what can I apply which would truly help our family? There was personal growth in all sorts of areas, in spiritual and work related, and personal growth. It actually even helped me with my career path. It actually helped me get a better job as I started to apply.
He started reading personal development, you guys. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah. So I thought, okay, well, this works. This is working. I don't mind. I like this. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do. I'm still trying to grow up and kind of navigate that. But I saw that change was working. And again, she's being consistent. And so that was important. And then I noticed that she's starting to sacrifice a lot of herself, which is huge. Because I didn't want her to sacrifice too much. I wanted to know that, I guess she needed some time for herself. And I think she was trying to find out where she could add value. And I'm going to go to the next one. What I found out, this is what I realized after, I think it took me probably about 6 months to kind of see this, maybe 9 months, where I finally started to see that she was very happy. There's a quote that I just recently heard that said that they were talking about women, and it said she had something to offer outside of only family life. She found her purpose. So I know Becky's a great mother. She's a great wife, great friend, but she wanted to do something to help other people. And so she started to just talk with people, and she's very genuine about this. And I can sense it. I can see it in her eyes. I can see how much she just loved people. She would tell me about people when I came home from work and how much she wanted to just help them. So she found her purpose, and she was happier. She realized what she wanted to do, and I was happy for her. So that's what I wanted to. She was happy. I'm happy. So that's what I want to kind of get to. Was she found something that would help others. So she found her purpose. And Shailene Johnson said things are better now, and they have been once we started communicating and working through this. And of course, I got to have this slide again. You all need to have more sex. So
this kind of looks like, what's his name? Michael Neiman.
I'm glad my 5-year-old went to bed. So she's asking me what this is.
We do have children online, don't we? So, Jared, I don't know what your Yours is probably different than mine.
Yeah.
Okay,
I just wanted to talk real quick about how it all started out for me and kind of the approach that I took with it. As you can see, Placido is very structured. I'm structured about certain things. When Shauna first started Beachbody, I was like, okay, right now I'm a full-time student, and so the income's not the greatest, on my side of the table. And so I was concerned when she first started Beachbody. I was like, okay, well, this, this is kind of pricey. And at first, I was kind of skeptical about Beachbody itself because I'm like, okay, so this multi-level marketing deal, I was thinking to myself, it's expensive. It really is kind of expensive. And if anybody who knows me knows, I'm cheap. I'm super cheap, and I'm okay. I'm okay admitting that. So at first I was like, wow, this stuff's expensive. And then, as I did more research and I talked to Shauna more about the benefits and like if you want the best, you gotta pay a price for that. And so I kind of jumped on board with that. And then when she wanted to start doing this as a business, I only had one, I guess, kind of major concern is in the past, Shauna she's done a few things that she's thought that was what she wanted to do. And she was like, well, I'm going to do this and we're going to make money at this. Or I'm going to do that and we're going to make money at that. And in a few of those instances, we've put money into it and we ended up losing that money. And so at first I was like, I don't want this to be another one of those situations. I will support you 100%. We're a team, but you have to promise me that this is something you're going to stick with. You're not going to just jump in with, just your feet. And then after a month or two, just say, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to try something else. That was my only concern in the beginning. Once she started having progress, which was when she actually started doing Beachbody, she progressed really quickly. And then I saw how excited it made her. And I saw, the income it was bringing in. And so and I saw that she was dedicated too. And that was my biggest concern in the beginning. So once I saw that she was dedicated to it, then my fears were gone at that point. And so now, I'm on board 100%. If I wasn't kind of bent on being an engineer, I think I would probably want to do Beachbody right along with her because I like working out and I like being healthy and I like helping people. So, it seems like a win-win for me. And it kind of, it's not to say that it's not been a struggle sometimes. Like Placido was saying, it's I think as Beachbody coaches, I guess mainly just you women here, I don't see any men that are doing it right now. So you just got to remember that I think that you have people that also depend on you for your affection and your time and your love. And if you are 100% focused on Beachbody, that's great. But I think organization is what's key. Like you got to kind of say, okay, here's my Beachbody time and set aside time for my family or whatever. And that was my problem. As Shauna got more successful, I noticed like I would come home and it was like, if I got a recognition at all, it was like, hey, and then she'd say, hey, you want to go watch a movie? And I'd say, yeah, sure. And then she'd be on her phone the whole time. And it just felt like I could feel that separation like Placido was talking about. So we communicate pretty well. And so we talked about it, and she tries a lot harder now to be present. And sometimes I'll just give her a little nudge and say, hey, can you set your phone down for a little bit? I know it's important, and I know that there's people that need you, but your family does need you too, and so when I'm gone most of the day and then I come home, I don't have a lot of time with my wife. So, I just think that's an important thing. But as far as supporting her, I mean, she's had my support in this, because I know Shauna sacrificed a lot for me. I'm going to school, and she's, I'm not home a lot, and so she has to do a lot of things that I normally help her with. And so I am not blind to the fact that she makes those sacrifices, and so I am perfectly fine with making sacrifices as well, so that she can achieve her goal. And the thing is, too, is these are Shauna's goals, but they're actual goals that she has with our family in mind. So it's not just this is something Shauna wants to do to make Shauna happy. This is something she wants to do to bring the family ultimately together and have us be able to do things that we weren't able to do before. We both grew up kind of in a poor situation, and we would like to be able to provide a certain, I don't know, I want to say kind of lifestyle, but just allow our kids to do things we weren't able to do, and so she's working towards that, and I can't fault her for that, and I won't. And so, I mean, yeah, that's basically it for me. I mean, if there's anybody has any questions, I can answer them, but yeah, I try to be as supportive as possible, because I know it's not easy, but it's worth it.
Okay, do you guys have any questions since we have some husbands on? You can unmute everyone.
Oh.
Do you guys have any questions? Anything you want to ask our husbands? They'll be totally honest with you. Nothing?
Does this ever get awkward for you ladies, just having a bunch of people stare at you kind of, and then like nobody's talking? Do you guys go on like this for a while, like just stare at each other?
Really?
They all just stare at me. I'm the queen of awkward.
I mean, she can handle it.
I just start making funny faces.
Yeah.
He really does, Jared.
I'm turning kind of red over here.
You are.
Also, this is light bouncing off my forehead.
Light over here too.
So you guys, I just wanted you guys all to see the perspective of someone who, I mean, he wasn't ever not supportive, but he really was hesitant in the beginning. Like, he really was more guarded about Beachbody and everything. And I know Jared has pretty much been supportive from the start with Shauna. But I know, like, we're always constantly having to communicate with each other. And I know Shauna and her husband are too, about, okay, I've been spending too much time on my phone, or I need to be more present. Like, it's something we're always just trying to hold each other accountable for. So I just wanted you guys to see someone else's perspective.
Yeah, I'll tell you one other thing that was kind of interesting was Becky was not one who posted a lot on Facebook, so one of the things she started doing is she started really going out there, and I'm kind of like private type of person. I don't know if I don't like a lot of people knowing what's going on with our family. I was speaking to Jared about this earlier.
Oh yeah, he did not like it.
Yeah, so all of a sudden, she's posting like everything and anything about our family, and I'm like, wow, what are you doing? You're putting us out there, and I just kind of want to protect my family. I live in this little bubble. I don't want nobody to come into it. And now she's starting to post pictures of herself, working out and her food. And you get people who are like, oh, why do they post pictures of their food? Just kind of decide. That's like, I didn't want to do any of that. So she got better at it. She got better at that, but it's.
Oh, I still post a bunch though.
Yeah.
See, you're not the only one, Placido. My wife talks about poop and posts pictures of me from the back, like, of my butt while I'm working out, like.
I saw that one.
And she'll take any opportunity to embarrass me. So I think you're lucky.
I am very lucky. You're right.
You're lucky, man.
I did not post about it. What, Tashi?
How did you guys decide you were okay with it? Because he's like a very sheltered person too.
Well, he doesn't really have a choice.
I'm not really sheltered. Like, are you talking about as far as like having?
We're pretty private.
As
I
far
guess
as,
that's what I mean. Sheltered is the total wrong word. What I
Not
meant
sheltered.
is private. That's what I meant.
Private.
yeah.
He's a private person. He doesn't like his whole life out there.
Yeah, I'm kind of like I'm kind of weird too, like Shauna is, but am I inside my own doors type, you know? So,
Special dude to marry a chick like me.
yeah.
That's totally
It's,
okay.
So here's what I thought happened, okay, when the whole Facebook thing, okay? I always told my wife this. I said, okay, if you can't, like, put your hand on somebody's shoulder as a friend, they're truly not your friend. And all of a sudden, she went from 200 friends to 1,000 friends. It's like, these people, you've never put your hand on their shoulder. You don't even know them.
Cuba.
I'm at almost 1,800 now. I mean, I don't know the bulk of my friends.
So now I have all these people who are following my wife, who are liking her picture, who don't know who she really is. So I had to kind of
Some of them are signing up as coaches.
A lot of them are
No.
signing up as coaches, and they became. Then
They become friends.
Yeah, they become friends. So she has developed a lot of friendships. There's a lot of good people out there. But I was always afraid. I'm the person, like, if I can't put my hand on your shoulder, you're not my friend. Okay, on Facebook. So that was hard. That was really hard to get used to. It took me a while, and but she started including me. She made sure to let me know who's connecting with, basically, because I don't know, like, most of these women and people who could. I don't know. I don't let people inside my house. I don't open my door to people who I don't know. So why would I do that on Facebook? But we had to talk through that. We had to work through it and understand that this is a business. And it was really hard because I thought, well, then you should come up with a business Facebook page. And she did that too.
I'm like, I do.
But
I have both.
Yeah, so she's got both now. So that was kind of hard to work through.
So some things that I do, though, he went to a training that a policeman did, right?
Yeah, it was like internet security.
Yeah, it was an internet safety. And so he brought home a lot of stuff that I was like, okay, I really do need to be careful. I'm home alone by myself. So I need to make sure when I'm posting things about this that they don't know my address. I do post my kids' names, but they don't know where my kids go to school. So I am being very careful with how much I do put out. So people can't just go to the school and say, oh, I need to pick so-and-so up, like I'm trying to make sure I'm balancing it where I'm sharing enough information about my family, but not enough to get us in, that would be dangerous to us. So.
Jerry, you're smiling. What are you thinking?
And I don't post about poop, though.
Oh no! I just noticed. Sorry, I didn't mean to distract. There's like somebody looks like they're driving down the road.
Is that Jordan? Oh.
Yeah, I'm just like, dang! Keep your eyes on the road. Oh, you missed your turn.
AJ's driving, not me.
Even worse. No, I'm just kidding.
That is true.
No, yeah. So to also answer your question earlier, I'm sorry I don't know your name. But Tashi. Yeah, Tashi. Yeah, it's hard, but like Shauna wanted us to do some dance video for Halloween, like a thriller workout video, and I had to say no to that.
I get shut down, you guys. I do. I don't run the whole show.
I mean, maybe I should have. I don't know, but it's. I know what Placido's saying too. It's like it's hard to see your whole life on Facebook, like everything, and so it's an adjustment. But I realize that it's basically for a good thing, And so far, nothing as bad has happened from it, and so I just kind of have to roll with the punches, and kind of suck it up a little bit. So.
And I'll tell you something else too, is we've had to develop some thick skin too, which is good, which is okay. We've had to, because our own family members will come to us and basically criticize us for what we're doing. But I think they're probably more uncomfortable that, I think we make them uncomfortable with who we are now. So it is what it is, and
You find out who your friends are. You really do.
You
with
totally do. Like, yeah, you totally find out who your friends are when you do this. Because some people, what I've learned is some people can't handle that you're bettering yourself. They feel inferior to it, and for whatever reason, it's a threat. And so people are either with you or they're against you. I have totally learned that. And so, I mean, I've lost friends over this business. And you know what? They weren't my real friends, obviously. So
we did too. We lost, actually, they were in our wedding. This couple, they were our friends. And I mean, there are some things, that you just, it is what it is. You just have to move on. But the whole privacy thing, I don't share. The thing that I do keep private, though, is us. I don't share a lot of information about us.
yeah.
Just because that is something that I do keep a little more sacred, and so that's not something that I'm going to put out there on Facebook so much, especially the ones that you see all the time going, I love my husband, and then all of a sudden they're split up or something, I'm like, I keep us more private, but my kids and, I post, we have our top 5 things that we post about, our family and, Beachbody and whatever else, are the things that you're passionate about. We do that, but this is something that I do keep more private.
Yeah, we do too. It's pretty rare that I post about this guy. Even though he's pretty rad, I don't need everybody to know.
Unless you post his butt on
I just
Facebook.
don't want people to get jealous that he's so cool.
Sorry, right. Okay.
Oh, but one more thing I was going to say. So in this, like every once in a while, I will message guys once in a while. I'll have them message me or I'll message them, just friends from high school or just different guys they're on Facebook. What?
I said ex-boyfriends,
I've not messaged any ex-boyfriends. I have not.
I'm just kidding.
But I have been very open with my husband about, hey, this is who I've been messaging with today. And there's this guy from high school. He likes every single post of mine. And my husband knows, and he's seen our messages. I keep everything completely open with him so that he knows, so-and-so, I'm talking with him about coaching. He's in my coaching group, this is what we're talking about. So I keep it very open with him just because it's what works for us. It's what works for our marriage.
We're the same. I'm pretty open. I don't talk to dudes. I don't even message dudes from high school. I don't even want to coach them. But if I get weird guys, I'm always like, dude, check out this weirdo, So he knows like everything that's coming through from a male for the most part.
And I get weirdos too. Like, I mean, you do. I'm in the Body Beast group, and so I'll get weirdos from there that'll just private message me, and they're like, hey, baby. And I'm like, okay, delete and block immediately. Like, that happens. If you're a guy and you're messaging me behind the scenes, I'm like, nope, delete and block. You don't even get to see my family now. So.
That's funny.
Lots.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys that get blocked by me.
Well, I don't even post in that Beast group because those people are weird to me.
Some of them are pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
One of my coaches is from that group, so don't say that.
I'm talking about the dudes are weird. Some of the girls, I'm like, oh, get over yourself. But like, I don't know. I'm just keeping it real. Some of those girls just need to get off. But yeah, no, I agree. You got to be open with your husband about any dudes that, I had a guy send me inappropriate pictures. And yeah, remember on Instagram?
Oh, that's right.
I was like, oh, what are these?
Oh, yeah.
And I opened it up and I was like, oh my gosh. And I'm like showing him.
I remember that one.
So like, we're that open, I save it so he can at least see it.
Save it.
Lucky me.
Bye, Jared.
Yeah.
All right. If you guys don't have any other questions, that's all we had for tonight. Isn't he cool? He agreed to do this. Jared, you're pretty cool too.
I think the biggest thing for me is it took time, and then to find out her why she was doing this, and when it came down to it was her family. She was wanting to retire me. She wants to retire me. I don't know if I ever will, but she wants us to be.
He wants to be
have more
home with
freedom.
me all day long.
I'm sure.
He really does. No,
That would be trouble.
you know the thing that he posted like 3 times? That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Your poor kids.
They're in school all day, Jared. We're good.
They come, they're gonna walk in one day and be like, "Oh!"
We're just worried about the dog.
Nothing's more awkward than looking over and your dog is staring at you.
We locked the door with
I
the
had a
dog
dog
too.
when we first got married, and I was like, we gotta get this dog out of here.
Wow.
All right, you guys. Anything else? Anything? Okay, I recorded this, so we'll post the video. So if your husband didn't get a chance to see this, make sure you watch it. He's gonna love it. Have a good night.
It's good to meet you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. See you guys.
Okay.